In the last episode, we grinded out 70 range so I could finally wield my Carol's crossbow. I then decided to try my hand at getting a fire cape, which did not go so well, but I did make up for it with a pretty solid trip at Dagannoth Rex. We ended the episode by knocking out Desert Treasure, which is a major milestone on the way to starting Recipe for Disaster. I want to start this episode by rounding out my combat stats and getting up to 75 combat. This will allow me to use Konar as a Slayer Master, who will be the most beneficial for my account for a really long time. But I don't want to start that grind yet. I just want to get, before we dive too deep into anything else, just get that requirement done. The main goal for this episode is really to get ready for Recipe for Disaster, and getting my stats up for combat is just kind of one of those things that's on the way. Alright, there's 56 defense and 75 combat. Let's get out of here. Alright, I'm not really sure how recording this is going to go. My mouth feels really weird as I just got back from the dentist, but we are going to start working on our requirements for a lot of the quests that I still have left for Recipe for Disaster that require both fishing and cooking. And I think in order to do that, I'm going to hop over to one of the probably just the primary Temperos worlds and see what I can do as far as XP there. I think that's probably going to be the most effective way for me to get both skills up at the same time, and it's also get a lot of alkables and a couple of other supplies that I might be able to use for construction as well. Alright, this should be the first level coming up for fishing. There we go. Alright, and there is the first game completed. We got 1 temporal skill count, 2 permits, not very much. I just hit 40 range, which I may or may not have got hit by a wave at the same time and missed the notification, but we're not going to talk about that. I believe that is lobsters unlocked. Alright, well, I've done 6 Temperos kills, and I think I'm actually going to call it quits here for now. At my level, 42 fishing and 31 cooking is what I ended up at here. It's just not the most efficient as far as XP, and I'm also not getting very many reward permits. The max I can get is 2 per game, and there were a couple of games in there where I only got 1, so I'm gonna go ahead and fish the rewards I have, and you never know, maybe we'll get a book or a harpoon or nothing at all. Alright, just cooked all the fish that I had, ended up at 34 cooking. Now I think I'm gonna grab another feather pack here real quick and a fly fishing rod, and we're going up to Barbarian Village. I'm gonna go sit there like a noob. Yeah, this is going by so much quicker than Temperos. There's 40 cooking, which means I can now cook lobsters. And there's 45 cooking, again, not taking too very long. That's swordfish that I can now cook. I think I'm gonna stay here probably until at least 50 cooking before I go do something else. I might go back to Temperos after that. And there's 50 fishing. I'm now able to harpoon swordfish, and I'm pretty close. I think this inventory actually is gonna get me to 48 cooking. So I do think I'm going to try giving solo Temperos a try. So what I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to be ditching the proselyte and white armor that I've got. I'm going to keep the Nita's Knot helmet. There we go. Okay, so I just did 2 solos and got 4 permits each time. So I think even with the inventory space that I have, this is probably the method I'm going to go with. And we should have our first construction level coming up of the Temperos grind. There we go, 28. Well, I was optimistic, but then I failed 3 times in a row in a solo Temperos, so we are finally going to introduce the looting bag into our grand plan here. The part where I have the most problem is when I have to deal with the fires, and I only have 1 bucket really in my inventory. It just doesn't always work. Close that up. There we go. Now we have a whole lot more inventory to work with, and Temperos solos should be smooth. And this should be 29 construction. And there's 55 fishing. I think the idea right now is I'm going to hang out here until at least 60 fishing and just kind of see at that point what sort of rewards I come away with. I just hit 30 construction. I'm kind of panicking here. This has not been a good run for me. It should be another construction level here. Yep, should be 31. There we go. And here comes any second. Now there it is, the big 60 fishing, which also means that this is going to be the end of our Temperos grind for now. Alright, so we finished at 29 total Temperos kills. I was getting anywhere from 6 to 8 permits per game, doing everything solo from my earlier clips on. And then I just had to go pickpocket a man in Alcarid, so now I can buy a small fishing net, and we've got a total of 154 reward permits to work with. Looking at the collection log, you don't actually get the angler tops from the reward permits, so those don't really actually count. And again, the tackle box, fish barrel, pages, those don't actually count either. So really the only two things that we can get that would count towards my rules are the Tome of Water and the Dragon Harpoon. Now, the drop rate for both of those are very high. I'll probably put those on screen for you, but you know, you never know. Maybe we will get in one of these 154. Yeah, so let's take a look at what we got here. The pages, since we didn't get a book, I am just going to drop these. Don't actually need them. Fishing bait we can get rid of. Feathers we can get rid of. Seaweed I don't need. Steel nails I will hold on to for construction. These oak planks and regular planks are going to be huge. I have a couple more planks in the looting bag from the last time as well. Those are going to be massive. We'll see. Have to see how much construction XP we can get out of those. But then what we really wanted here were all the fish. This is a ton of cooking XP banked. The goal is to get 70 cooking eventually. That's overall what you need for Recipe for Disaster. And then there are a couple of quests that I have as prerequisites that do also require me to get my cooking up a few more levels. So we should definitely be in the clear there. The spirit flakes we don't actually need. The last thing in the inventory that is going to be massive for the account are these caskets. Now, these caskets, what's great about them is they have a very high chance of giving me a lot of different rune items, which will be great for alching. I believe they also give some jewelry, like noted a large quantity of jewelry that could also alch for a good bit of money. The other big drop that I could get that is a little bit more rare is they can drop anywhere from 25 to 50k coins directly. So let's go ahead and see what we get from these. All right, let's go ahead and get the alks out of the way first. All right, just got done alking everything, and we are now sitting at a nice 312k. There's 50 crafting. All right, done with the gems, got to 50 crafting, and that was it. And to make this process go a little smoother, we are going to very quickly grab another looting bag and drop everything that is not construction related into it. 32. There's 33, that's convenient. Now I can make oak larders. 34. 35. Alright, and this is going to be the last level we get here. 36 construction. Alright, with that we've got all of our planks out of our inventory, so we can go ahead and drop our hammer, saw, and I'm just going to drop the steel nails. Now, the last thing we need to do from our Temperos grind is cook all of the fish. However, what I'm going to do before that is we're going to take a look at doing the Family Crest quest. Now, this quest is one of the requirements that I need. There it is one of the requirements I need for Recipe for Disaster. What I'm going to get from this quest is the cooking gauntlets, which should make it so that I burn less fish, thus getting more XP out of the fish that I gained. Alright, we just defeated Chronozon and returned to the Crest, and I believe that should be the end of the quest here. Alright, perfect. Got some steel gauntlets. Now let's go take those over to the dude in Catherby and get these turned into cooking gauntlets. Okay, yep. Please do that for me. And there we go, cooking gauntlets. Alright, that's gonna be the last of the salmon there. We are up to 55 cooking. Yeah, 55. And now we're going to move on to the tuna, and then, once we're done with the tuna, I've got an actually exciting idea. Small brain turned into big brain for a little bit. Alright, and here's the last of the tuna done. That puts us up to 57 cooking. First thing I'm going to do, before cooking these, I'm going to need a couple of things. One, I'm going to need a looting bag. Two, I'm going to need to go over to Camelot real quick, and we need to go move our house. But I'm not going to show you where yet. we need to gather a few more things. Alright, second step now is to get our armor back. So got my proselyte top and bottom, also picked up my shield and boots back. Alrighty, so I am in my newly moved house and I've got an experimental gear set up here. And the idea is that before we go and finish off the requirements for Recipe for Disaster, I want to make good use of this food that I've got in my inventory and try out experimenting with a little more bossing. Now what we're going to be doing with this setup is we are going to be making an attempt at Sarachnis. And so I've moved my house here to Hosidius for a quicker teleport to it. I don't know how well this is going to go. My combat stats are not very high, but the thing about Sarachnis is that it's mostly a mechanical boss. You can mitigate a lot of damage as long as you are making sure that you have the correct prey up at the right time. So the way Sarachnis works is he will either attack with melee or range. If you are standing right next to Sarachnis, he will attack with melee. If you are standing anywhere else, he'll attack with range. It's pretty simple. Every now and then, Sarachnis will freeze you in place with a web, move to a different corner, and hit you with a range attack. So basically, as long as you're praying the right thing, you're not going to take any damage during these parts. Now, at 66 and 33% HP, Sarachnis spawns in two smaller spiders. One does melee damage and the other does magic damage. For me, I'm going to have to kill that magic spider as quickly as possible. But basically, if I can just keep my prayers correct and block as much damage from Sarachnis, hopefully kill the magic spider as quickly as possible, I shouldn't take too much damage, or at least nothing that I can't heal up with my food here. The rest of the time, I should just be praying melee and staying as close to Sarachnis as I can, and I will have to switch to range every now and then when he freezes me. I guess now while we wait for my run energy to go back up, now's a pretty good time to explain that Sarachnis is a boss that I do want to camp heavily on this account. The only item on the collection log for Sarachnis that is actually considered a gear upgrade for me is the Sarachnis Cudgel. If I could get this, which I believe is a 1 in 400 drop, I'll have to double check and put that up on the screen if I'm wrong. If I could get that drop, that was going to be a fantastic melee weapon. It is so much better than the Iban staff for melee and would really carry me through probably until God Wars, I think. Okay, there we go. First set of spiders are up. Fortunately, they're all on the same tick right now, so I really just need to try and beat this guy down as quickly as possible. Oh, this is not good. Okay, that's those done. This one, I'm out of food. Haven't even made it to the next set of spiders yet. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to telly out of this one. As soon as those next set of spiders come up, I don't think I survive it. This melee guy is hitting me way too hard. Okay, there they are. 24. All right, that's good enough for me. That was a good first experimental run. Ran out of food. I honestly used way too much food on like missing a flick. The other problem I had is just not doing enough damage, which I expected with my stats. Ooh, I was just getting some limp worts for making these strength potions, and we just got a giant key. All right, Obor, how about it? A giant club would help me out a lot here. Negative. Ooh, Obor Champion. There's kill count number 5 at least. We got some law runes. That's pretty good. Alright, let's give this one another go. Oops. That's not a good start. Okay, yeah, we're actually just gonna tele out. We're not swing and a miss on that one. Okay, now this time for real we go in. Oh, I just got a defense level in there. That's nice. I can't actually damage him. Too busy healing. Yeah, this is just not gonna happen. Yeah, we're out of here. That's not gonna work. It was just way too much food for that one process. Okay, well, we learned. We definitely, at our stats, are not ready for that. Yeah, so the plan now, I think we're just gonna go right back to, just cooking everything else. We got our cooking gauntlets back, and we'll scrap the Arachnus plan for a little while. Alright, just finished up cooking the rest of my swordfish as well. We are stopping at 59 cooking, which is a little lower than I was really hoping to be. I was hoping to at least get to 60, but now we are going to keep playing and continue on working on some of these quests for Recipe for Disaster. I don't know if I mentioned them earlier, but the main ones that we have left are Shiloh Village, Hero's Quest, Horror from the Deep, and we have to start the Legends quest. So I think I'm going to start with Shiloh Village. Alright, there's Shiloh Village done. It's just a whole bunch of running back and forth, really. And that's 3.8k crafting XP. Does not get us any levels. Alright, next I think I want to look at Horror from the Deep. It's either between that or Hero's Quest. Those are the only two options I have left. Hero's Quest is going to require me to get a little coordination with someone else, but alright, the one requirement for Horror from the Deep, I should say, is the Alfred Brimhand bar crawl, and well, at least the only requirement I had left. Oh, there we go. I forgot this quest ends right after you kill the final boss, but that is Horror from the Deep knocked out real quick. Final boss is real easy. That is 4 points. Well, there it goes. Didn't read it. Yeah, thank you. Okay. We will get to what he was just talking about in a second. Okay, didn't actually get anything from the XP rewards, but let's talk about real quick one of the other benefits that I do get from this quest, and that is the unfinished books that I'm not going to actually be finishing any of these, but you can get the God books in unfinished form right here, and even though they are unfinished, they still do count as a God book for God Wars, so it'll be a free item that I could pick up anytime I want. If I think about this, I mean, Zamorak and Saradomin, which is the easier of the two for me to get an item for? I think Zamorak is. Yeah, well, I think Zamorak is. Again, I don't think it really cares, but we'll say Saradomin for this. Yes, Saradomin. There we go. Okay. Sweet, damaged book acquired. May actually hold on to this instead of the white shield for a little bit. Let's move on. Next, I guess Hero's Quest is the only other thing we can move on to for Recipe for Disaster requirements. Alright, well, for a quest called Hero's Quest, it's a relatively boring quest. You really don't do anything exciting in it. Anyway, let's turn our things in. Total of 29k XP and a bunch of skills. And access to the Heroes Guild. Do we get any levels? There we go. 42 Herblore. And 41 Smithing. Okay, and that's it. Alright, so now all that's left is to start the Legends quest up until the point where we can enter the jungle. And then that is the last, like, actual requirement for Recipe for Disaster. Other than, I think you need, like, 160 some quest points. So we'll have to find a couple more quests to fill out that gap. The short-term plan here is going to be to continue to get the quest points required for Recipe for Disaster. I'm going to need, I think, somewhere in the upper 160s to get what I need, including the parts of Recipe for Disaster. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and knock out a bunch of the easier quests that give a lot of quest points, like Romeo and Juliet, for example. This quest gives 5 quest points, and I have not done it yet. Should take me about 5 minutes, so I'll be right back. And there's Romeo and Juliet done. Like I said, took 5 minutes. We're up to 151 quest points. And there is Sheep Herder done next. That's another 4 quest points. Alright, and here's Prince Ali Rescue done. This is nice because now I don't ever have to worry about paying to go through that stupid gate again. There have been so many times where when I've been suiciding, or if I had my coins in a looting bag, that I tried to go through the gate, it's like, you need 10 coins, and yeah, whatever. And there's the Making History quest completed, another quick 3 quest points there, 1000 per XP, 1000 crafting as well. Alright, there is Pirate's Treasure done, another quick 2 quest points, and One-Eyed Hector's Treasure. None of that is important. Well, the quest points are. But anyway, one of the reasons I wanted to do Pirate's Treasure is because it is one of the requirements in a long list of things that I need for the Great Brain Robbery quest. If I scroll down here, I'm going to need to do Cabin Fever, Creature of Frankenstein. I will have to do part of Recipe for Disaster and get 50 prayer for it. And the reason I want to make this quest one of my priorities is because you get the barrel chest anchor from that quest. And I'll get more into why I actually want that later on, but the long story short is that it will help me for Sarachnis in the meantime. There's Creature of Frankenstein completed, another quick requirement of our Cabin Fever. I don't really know how I was going to finish that. The Creature of Frankenstein's done. Yeah, alright, decided to knock out Clock Tower. That one was really quick as well, and that should be the last quest point I need. So that's 166. You need 175 total to complete Recipe for Disaster, and you get 9 along the way, so that should be the last one I need. The only real requirement left that I have would be that 70 cooking that we left off with. For the last bit of cooking XP that we need, I do think I want to try and go to the Hosidius Mess Hall, which I'm going to need 45% Hosidius Favor in order to do. And so the plan now is to push this plow until I believe 5%. Then I can make fertilizer using compost and saltpeter, do that up to 35%, and then we'll round off the last 10% with the Depths of Despair quest, which will give me the last 10% in a certificate. Each bucket of fertilizer you hand in gives 0.1%, so in order to get to 35%, I'm going to need a total of 298 buckets of fertilizer. I've already got 1,000 compost saved up from when I accidentally bought a bunch like 4 or 5 episodes ago, so now I just need to find where all the saltpeter is, and I'm basically just going to fill my inventory with saltpeter, come over to the tool leprechaun here, grab some compost, and turn whatever I've got into fertilizer and hand it in. And then rinse and repeat 298 times. Alright, this should be the last inventory there, 35.6% favor. Let's go knock out the Depths of Despair. And there is the Depths of Despair done. Now we can use, shut up dude. Use our Hosidius Favor certificate. Yes, okay, 10% favor there. That should put us up to 45.6. Alright, so the process that I'll be going with here is I'm going to grab a full inventory of bowls, fill them all with water, then drop all of those bowls of water, and we take, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19 pieces of meat. I guess I could have just put like 30 or something. Anyway, cook all the meat. Okay, then drop half the meats. Pick up our bowls, use the meats on the bowls. Alright, now drop all of our bowls again. Come over here, grab a bunch of potatoes, full inventory of potatoes, and drop half of those. And now we just add the potatoes to the bowls. Alright, and now that all the potatoes are added, we cook the stew. And now the dopamine XP rush, we hand in the stews, 3.2k XP and 60 cooking. I believe at 65 cooking I'll be able to switch to making pineapple pizzas, which there's a extra step or 2 in making those, but the XP per pizza is like double what I would get for stews. So that will be big worth. I wasn't originally going to record this, but there's 63 cooking, smashed that out real quick, and that is also 1,200 total. There we go, 65 cooking, and we can now make pizzas, and that should speed this up by 2 times. I'm going to be honest, in all of my time ever doing this, I did not know you could actually burn things. And today I learned. And there's 66, 68. And there's 69 cooking. This is going to be the last inventory that we dump. We now have 16,000 XP to go until 70, which again, we will get that from RFD and the subquests. So now I think all that I really need to do left is just start Legends Quest. But I'm thinking to end this episode, I'm not going to start any of Recipe for Disaster in this episode, but I'm thinking I want to start to work on smithing so I can just do Legends Quest. Like, I don't want to start it just to leave it off somewhere. And in order to do that, I'm going to need 52 mining, which shouldn't take too terribly long. But smithing, you need 50 smithing for Legends Quest, and that's something that I've been thinking of how I want to actually train. I may not get to Legends Quest at this episode, but I think I want to at least start working on this smithing. And to do that, we're going to start Slayer. So earlier I ended up getting my combat level up to 75 so that I can do Konar Slayer. And one of the big benefits of that are the Brimstone chests. The Brimstone keys that you use for the Brimstone chest. And what you can get out of that is a ridiculous amount of supplies. I'm like 300 to 500 noted coal, iron, gold, multiple bars. And so I think that is probably going to be my plan. I need to train my Slayer anyway, and it's going to give me some passive smithing XP, so let's go get our first Konar Slayer task. Let's see what our first Konar task is going to be. Come on, Konar, give me a good one. Huh. Okay, so let's dissect this for a second. That could be possibly the worst task. Reset your standard task streak of 5 won't affect you. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yes, please. 21 cave crawlers. Okay, that's doable. Alright, just finished up my task of cave crawlers there. I do want to point out and thank Bunny Earp for the XD question mark. That is why we play the account. To farm XD question marks. Alright, our first task is... That is a ton of Calphite in the task only Calphite cave. Very nice. There we go. That is what we were talking about. A Brimstone key. I'm like 15 kills into this task, not even. And there's 40 Slayer, the first level of our grind. And we're coming up on the end of the task here. There's 41 Slayer. Alright, and there is our first Konar Slayer task. Alright, it's hard for me to imagine a bad loot that we could get out of this right now. So we're hoping for ore or bars. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that is why we are doing this. Let's go. Alright, now part 2. Let's get a good task to back it up. 163 Hellhounds? I mean, that's a good task. It's going to take me a millennia, but okay. There's 59 defense, as I imagine this task is going ungodly slow. My flicks are not good. I think I'm going to whip back out the Carol's crossbow and just try and range this task down, because I don't want this to take forever. This is not at my stats a task I should be meleeing. Bobby, go ahead and repair. 100,000? Oh, no. 141. I mean, and my range and my... just do it. It hurt so much. But it's nice to be holding it again. Let's go kill some Hellhounds. I just looked away for a second from my screen and just saw that I got 42 Slayer. And just got 43 Slayer, still cruising right along with this task. And there's 71 range. Yes, that is what we're talking about. Hey, key number 2 of the task. We got 17 more to go. Oh, and we are 2 kills away from the task. They sneak me another key. Let's go. That's so good for my chances now of getting some smithing XP. 1 rune plate like it's not great. Not bad, but there we go. 64k GP and nice gold ore. That's fucking huge. And new task. Enku, that's easy. There's 45 Slayer. We can now kill Infernal Mages. Not a very exciting task and not a whole lot of XP there, but it was easy enough. Let's go get another one. Alright, Konar, good task, please. Stronghold Slayer Dungeon. Yeah, that's not too bad. Nice. So one of the other good benefits of this task is the Ensouled Giant Heads that I'm going to be able to collect. I am going to be collecting those and using them for prayer XP. I do want to get to 50 prayer for a couple of things coming up soon. Pardon the potential dog heavily breathing in the background, but there is 66 magic. There's 46 Slayer. Oh, and there's our first brimstone key of this task. And there's 47 Slayer. We can now kill brine rats. Ooh. Oh, this game must love me so much. Another brimstone key with only 10 fire giants left. All right, there we go. There is our 5th task in a row completed. We gained 18 Slayer points. We're finally starting to gain some. We should get more Slayer points from any consecutive task I can do until I have tutorial skip again. Alrighty, brimstone chest, show me some ore or some bars. Okay, well, that's not really it at all. How about ores or bars? Yes, more gold ore, that's so good. Yes! Please excuse my dumbassery for walking away without getting a task. Assignment, please. Beautiful, more calcite, easy task. Alright, so I've decided I am just going to be getting the entire 60% here at handing in these books. It's stupid fast. You get 2.5% per book, and the reason I'm also recording this now, 47.5 is not a special number, but when I hand in this book, boom. Oh, I was one off. Oh, man. Wow, here we go. This is totally the same book. Yeah. There we go. 40 rune crafting. We can now make astral runes. Very exciting. Alright, we've got our runes, we've got our percentage. Swap the spellbook, please. And adept reanimation. Here he comes. Look at Tis move. You're gonna get stepped on, man. Alright, there we go. That's all of them killed. We did get the 46 prayer, but came up a bit short on 47. That's okay, though. There's 60 defense. We can now switch over to aggressive. Show me the good task that's gonna give a lot of brimstone keys. Once again, I've been snuck up on by another hit points level. It's 68 hit points, one off of the funny one. 48 Slayer, and just got our first strength level since hitting 60 combat stats, and we also hit 1225 total. There we go, 7 tasks, 18 more points, and 88 total. Alright, what'll task number 8 be? Okay, I mean, this isn't terrible. At least this one's in the catacombs. I'm not going to skip it. I am going to do this. I think I'm going to put a hold on the Slayer grind for now. What we're going to do next, I'm going to heal up a little bit, refill my prayer, and we're going to go and do the Sleeping Giants quest to start on our smithing XP. I want to get 50 smithing by the end of this episode. Thing that I don't know, because I haven't actually done or even really watched any of the Giants Foundry minigame, is what sort of XP I can get from that with what I make using my steel bars. Alright, we will be grabbing the ice gloves for this quest, and this is actually going to be the first time in this account in a really long time that we're going to be saying goodbye to another piece of equipment. At this point, I have no more need for the Clank's Gauntlet. The next time I will need anything in my glove slot for combat, I'll probably have Barrow's gloves, or at least something better than Clank's Gauntlets that I can just buy back from the recipe for disaster chests. Goodbye, my sweet Clank's Gauntlets. Alright, now that we've completely forgotten about them already, let's move on to get the rest of the stuff for this quest. Huh, okay, it looks like I need 20 free inventory spaces. I'm gonna go grab a looting bag real quick and drop a bunch of this stuff into that. I'll need to do that for when I'm doing the smithing training with these anyway. Alright, I think I understand this minigame. It's basically just matching the colors and with either heating or cooling, and then the three different things you can do here. There we go. 6,000 smithing XP and access to this access to the Giant's Foundry. That puts us up to 42 smithing. We can now make steel kite shields. There's 43 smithing already. Can now make steel claws. Hand it over. 3,100 XP. That's so good. And money. Okay, yeah, we definitely have 50 smithing banked. If I haven't even like that was one trip. We still have all of our steel bars left. All right, I glanced a little bit on this one, and my reward potential dropped significantly. Yeah, only 2,200 XP for that reward. Still good. All right, did much better on this one. Let's hand in the sword. Oh, 5,200 XP. That's so good. Okay, narrow flat sword, and that is 45 smithing. Oh, don't look at me, Kovac. This was another glancer sword. Don't look at it. We go again. That is 46 smithing, though. All right, let's hand in the perfect sword. Oh, wait, what? Only 36? I've been scammed. Oh, well, there's 47 smithing. Alright, surely this sword is worth a ton of XP. I had a lot of things, a lot of points in the mold, and it's a perfect blade. Kovac, give me... Nice, 5,600, that's what we're talking about. 11k coins as well. I didn't realize you get money from this too. That's so nice. And in the sword, big XP, another commission, 49 smithing, one more to go. Alright, this is gonna be the last sword we hand in. Does it get us there? Yes, it does. There we go, 9 total swords made. No, do not receive another commission, but there's 50 smithing. We can now smelt mithril ore and make mithril daggers. Charge a fee for anyone who does not have level 60 smithing. Alright, I do not have level 60 smithing. So I gotta pay, I think it's like every couple of minutes or something. 10 minutes. Use the furnace for 10 minutes, and then I gotta pay that fee again. And then I think I also still have to use money in the coffer. We'll go ahead and let's just put 10k in there. Alright, now just full inventory of gold. There's 51 smithing coming up. This guy down here just got 99. Congrats to him. But more exciting is for me, 51. I think that's the only level I'm going to get from this. I doubt I get another one from the rest of these. Alright, I do think I'm going to call it a video there. We've got a lot of the requirements. Well, I guess we've got all of the requirements we need for Recipe for Disaster done. We just need to start Legends Quest. But in the next episode, I think that's what we're going to focus on is first I want to do Legends Quest in its entirety, and then we'll do Recipe for Disaster. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.